everyone. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna Hare 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 Ramo Hare Ramo Rama Ramo Hare 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 Krishna Hare 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 Ramo Hare Ramo Rama Ramo Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ramo Hare Ramo Rama Ramo Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Welcome to our daily call of His Holiness Candramauli Swami. Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. I hope we are continuing the same series, Maharaj. That's Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 11, Lord Krishna's entrance into Dwarka, and verse 10 onwards.
Yeah, correct.
Thank you, Maharaj. I will share the screen. Over to you, Maharaj.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Kitambayam Nata Kirositam Tvai. Kitanu Drishyati Lata Prashoshanam. Jemate Sundaram Hasta Sobitam. Apashyamana Vadanam Manoharam Iti Chodrit Vacha Ajna Bhakta Vatsalaham Srinvano Nugaram Drisva Vitavam Pravishta Puram. Do that one again. Oh Master, if you live abroad all the time, then we cannot look at your attractive face, whose smiles vanquish our suffering. How can we exist without your presence? On hearing these speeches, the Lord, who was very kind to the citizens and the devotees, entered the city of Dwarka and acknowledged all of their greetings by casting his transcendental glance over them. Purport, Lord Krishna, attraction is so powerful that once being attracted to him, one cannot tolerate separation from him. Well, why is this so? Because we are eternally related with him as the sun's rays are eternally related with the sun's rays. The sun rays are molecular part of the solar radiation. Thus the sun rays and the sun cannot be separated. The separated by the cloud is temporary and artificial, and as soon as the cloud is cleared, the sun rays Again, display their natural effulgence in the place of the sun. Similar living entities who are molecular parts of the whole spirit are separated from the Lord by an artificial covering of Maya, illusory energy. This illusory energy, or the curtain of Maya, has to be removed, and when it is done, the living entity can see the Lord face to face, and all his miseries are once removed. Every one of us wants to remove the miseries of life, but we do not know how to do it. The solution is given here, and it rests on us to assimilate it or not. Chaksu Unnamitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Ma Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimakti Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesa Sunyavari Astyatya De Sitarine Panchakalpa Tarubhischa Kripa Sindhupe Vichapatitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namaho Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Krishna is all attractive, but as a magnet attracts metallic items. If there's rust on the metal, then the attraction doesn't manifest. But naturally, metallic items are drawn into the magnet. So in the same way, the living entity in this material world is covered by this rust, dust, which is more like lust. And that lust is to try to enjoy something in this world which is not enjoyable. And because the living entity thinks that they can enjoy in this world, the natural attraction for the eternal relationship which they have with Krishna, which is so complete, so powerful, so satisfying, it cannot be experienced. So that's why we say this world is like a fool's paradise. Because people are foolish because they think they can be happy in a way that is artificial. It's like sitting in front of a mirror and well, it's like more like it will be a good analogy. It's like licking the outside of the bottle of honey. The honey is real inside and it's also sweet. And the bottle may also look good. So one thing, I'll just taste that honey by licking on the outside. But there's no taste. And it's just, it looks quite ridiculous. Well, in the same way, this is the world where people are looking for something satisfying, which is not there. And they continue to do that, thinking that it is going to come in some day or another. Therefore, they're always planning for enjoyment in the future and struggling in the present and lamenting about the past. And it's the nature of the conditioned souls in this world. But the relationship with Krishna is eternal. It's natural, and it's the most fulfilling of everything. Once one tastes a little bit of that relationship, it says here, once that attraction comes, then one cannot tolerate separation from it. We have many examples. As soon as the Lord left the planet, many of those who had association with the Lord, particularly this was true in the Leela of Lord Chaitanya. And after he left, his devotees couldn't tolerate the fact that he was no longer there with them. And so they planned to leave the world, and one after another, they went into meditation or went into hibernation, and they just left. There was seen no use to continue on in their life. In this world, they wanted again to be united with the Lord in the spiritual realm. But these were eternal associates of the Lord. Many of them were pure devotees. We can't sometimes artificially do that. Think, well, if the Lord is gone, I can just end my life and then be with him. That may not be the same situation, because as long as we have material desires, we are forced to stay in this world of birth and death and experience the activities of the three modes of material nature. But when the devotee becomes purified and tastes that happiness with the Lord in a very powerful way, as it mentions here, that attraction is so powerful that there's nothing that could convince the person that there's anything else but the Lord to be after. They want to be united with the Lord. We have that experience in this world. We get a little taste of that happiness of our relationship with Krishna, either through chanting his names, or just like yesterday, we had a wonderful, yesterday was Akshaya Tritiya, and we did a grand opening of a temple in Naperville, Chicago, just outside of the realm of the city of Chicago, which was a suburb of Chicago. For years, the devotees have been preaching there, living in a little small box, which they call a temple. Now, after struggling, they opened a beautiful, wonderful temple. And the amount of people came was overwhelming. And after the deities were fully installed by the Prana Pratishta, and the deities were dressed and they opened, when the curtains opened, people broke into tears. Their tears were just flowing as soon as they saw the Lord. And I have this one picture, even a little 5-year-old girl. Of course, she's a very sweet little girl of a devotee. When she saw the deity, her mouth opened really wide in amazement. She was experiencing so much happiness seeing the Lord. So, and that's on this level. We're getting just a little drop of that attraction. So imagine if the Lord was present. Of course, he is present face to face in the deity's form. And the more we have devotion, the more we can see that. That's why they say the darshan of the Lord is not us seeing the Lord, but the Lord seeing us. When the Lord is pleased by seeing us standing before him, trying to get his darshan, he reveals himself more and more. But Krishna is unlimited, and his qualities, his beauty is unlimited, his strength is unlimited, his fame is ever existing and everywhere. His knowledge is the knowledge that exists everywhere, the foundation for all other knowledge. His strength, his wealth, he's called Bhagavan, he is the wealthiest. And he's also detached from all of this. He is also the most renounced. And these qualities indicate the absolute truth in full. If we get just a little drop of a particle of that experience of one of these opulences of the Lord, we become overwhelmed with attraction for the Lord, especially his beauty, which attracts the devotees in a very powerful way.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, sorry to disturb you. Sorry. Maharaj, the voice is very low, just certainly. Is it possible to increase a little bit, or maybe microphone bit closer? Sorry.
Is that better?
Yes, Maharaj, this is better than before.
Okay.
Thank you.
So I was just mentioning how natural it is to be attracted to the Lord and how we have experiences from that. And I indicated that experience yesterday in a very wonderful opening of the temple. As soon as the deities were dressed and shown for their first darshan for everyone, many people started to cry. It was just unbelievable. It was unbelievable. And they expressed that later in their talks with others. And it was just amazing to see how the natural attraction for the Lord manifests in so many ways. When I saw the Lord come yesterday, he was so powerful and so beautiful at the same time. I was stunned in hypnotic trance just looking at his beauty. And Radharani was standing next to him, and she was so sweet and so attractive. It was just unbelievable. And that's the deity form of the Lord. And these are just small little drops of attraction that the Lord can exhibit. If he was there in his personal feature, if he came personally from the spiritual world and was walking among us like he did, as it says here, when he arrived in Dwarka, the residents of Vrindavan, the residents of Dwarka, were already saying, you know, if you're away from us, how will we exist? Simply by your smile, if you destroy all of our suffering. We cannot, you know, live without seeing your attractive face. And the Lord was pleased because when the devotees are naturally attracted to the Lord reciprocates in such a wonderful way. So that's our business. We have to get attracted to the Lord. Do something to get attracted to the Lord somehow. That attraction is there. Nityasiddha Krishna Prema Sadhu Kavanai Sravanadi Siddhi Chitte Kodiya Udai. Somehow or other, awaken your attraction for Krishna. Chant his holy names. Serve his devotees with complete attention and expertise. And hear about him, read about him, speak about him. Go see him in the temple. Take opportunities to serve while you're in the temple. And become attracted more and more to the Lord. This is the success of life. Not having a lot of money, not having a position in society, not having a nice family. These things are all ephemeral. They are nice, but they come and they go. And they cannot fulfill the desires, unlimited, the living entities' desire for unlimited happiness, which only can be fulfilled by the presence of the Lord in one's life. So it's just that, just like it says that the moon is beautiful, the sky is beautiful in the presence of the moon. A woman becomes very beautiful in the presence of her qualified husband. In so many ways, there is an analogy or a connection between something and something beautiful. So the devotees become happy, the devotees become beautiful. Prabhupada would also say how priests and rabbis, people from other traditions, would say to Srila Prabhupada, your disciples, they look so bright-faced. They are coming from our tradition, but they were never like that before. Now they're mad after God, and they look very happy. What is the secret? And Prabhupada would explain it, you know, you give them Krishna, and they take it. This is their, so the medicine is there. Enchi asari maya nasi badalagi, harinama mahamantra. Now to me, Magi. Just chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra and read books, associate with devotees, worship the Lord, go to the temple, do service. Make your life Krishna conscious. Don't waste time trying to make a nice solution to the material problem in this world. It's not possible. Take care of your health. That we have to do in order to maintain this body so we can do devotional service nicely. But that's it. Don't worry about whatever else is going on. And this world is what it is. It's a place of misery, suffering, and constant change. That's all it does. Sometimes it gets a little better. Just like it may be, for those of you, we have people in different places in the world. So it may be 0 degrees Celsius. And you think, wow, it's really cold. But then it becomes 10 degrees Celsius and you think, oh, that's nice. But it's still cold. It's still cold. So sometimes the material world gets a little better. But most of the time, it's just constant change. We're bringing about more and more struggle and suffering. So don't worry about all of these things. Just focus your mind on the activities of devotional service and minimize whatever else you're doing in life to the bare minimum so you can have enough time to hear and chant and associate and worship the Lord. And this is the path back home, back to Godhead. So when Krishna was here, he attracted the minds and hearts of so many people, even those who didn't know who he was, they were attracted to him just simply by his presence. So we get a little indication sometimes in our life how that Krishna is very attractive. And we hear from these scriptures how the residents of Dwarka and the residents of many of the places where Krishna was were so overwhelmed by Krishna's attraction that when he was with them, they were completely absorbed in serving him. And when he was away, they were completely unhappy not having his association. So Krishna is everything, and there's nothing else. Material world is what it is. Can't change it. Don't try to make it better. It's not possible. It's like trying to wash coal. If you take a piece of coal and you try to wash it, the coal might start shedding some of its external dirt, but it still remains dirty all the way through. It's never going to get clean. You can't be happy in this material world. It's not possible. It's just the way it is. It's arranged like that by the Lord, so we don't get attached to staying in this place. And we want to get out and we want to go back to him in devotional service. So that is the process. The process is very simple, but sometimes it may not appear to be so easy. But if we give sufficient time for Krishna, then we will find that, then we will find that we'll get that taste that is always there, but is always hidden by the external energy. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Maharaj. Such a wonderful class, and I think it's really, really important to just understand, like we can't, because of our material conditioning, difficult to really understand the beauty and the all opulence of Krishna. So thank you very much for highlighting, like even you mentioned yesterday temple when it was open, how devotee could really, the expressions and their things were completely different, and this is just deity. That's true, Maharaj, that just by seeing deity, many times it really attracts our heart, it penetrates, and how beautiful he will be. Of course, no, maybe not sure in which time, which life we will be having right direct darshan of Krishna. But thank you very much, at least to give that glimpse and that understanding that what we are really doing in this material life is just like really wasting of our time. And we have to really, really awaken ourselves. So thank you very much.
Thank you for putting a little topping on the cake.
Thank you, Maharaj. Thank you. So, Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Sorry, Maharaj, you were saying something.
No, well, I'm here.
Okay. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Please, if you have any questions, comments, or realization, such wonderful topic today, please unmute yourself. And if you can't speak, then you can type in the chat window. I can read on your behalf. But definitely request everyone to please switch on your video. That's a really great to interact with Maharaj in a nicer way. And I'm sure you will be also loving that. Thank you. Hare Krishna, Namita Mataji. Yes, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna, please accept my humble obeisances of glory to Srila Prabhupada. About wasting of time, there are a lot of things as a, even at the neophyte stage where we are still practicing Karma Mishra Bhakti, we tend to waste a lot of times in many things. How do we, and sometimes we don't realize that this is a waste of time. So how do we realize that you should recognize that as a waste of time?
Well, if you're not doing devotional service, you have to be doing something else. If you're doing something else, you have to see whether it's absolutely necessary or it's just some wasting of time. So we come up with a little idea. You can sit down at the beginning of every day and then just look at your day ahead of time. And right, you can put 4 categories down. You could put essential, important, non-essential, not important. And you write all of your daily activities into one of these 4 categories. What's essential? What's important? What's not essential? In other words, you can do without it. And what is not important? I mean, just a simple waste of time. How much time do we give Krishna, and how much time do we give to other things? That's all.
Thank you.
Krishna consciousness, Prabhupada said, very easy. It's just practice. A person who wants to, rehearse for a drama, they may practice their part for hours and hours and hours, just so they can fine-tune that part and make the dramatic performance very, very wonderful. So we have to practice Krishna consciousness. 16 rounds is not a minimum or a maximum, it's a minimum. 16 is just to get you going, that's all. You can chant more, do it. We have material responsibilities, but we shouldn't live in such a way that we don't have enough time for Krishna consciousness. We don't have time to associate with devotees. We don't have time to read the books. We don't have time to go to the temple. If our life is like that, then we're just too much absorbed in material life. Whatever you give attention to, that's will become your consciousness. Give your attention to Krishna. Chant more, read more, associate more, worship more. And Prabhupada has really given us a whole diversification of spiritual life in such an amazing way. There's so many spiritual activities. Not like years ago, if you were living in the wilderness, all you could do is sit and meditate and pray. We have Rath Yatras, we have temple openings, we have kirtan melas. It's like, for instance, those of you who live in the United States, there's a few. New Vrindavan has become a place where they constantly are doing major programs. Sachinanda Swami is coming for 4 days to give seminars on the holy name. They have an art drama festival coming up. They have other forms of seminars. Gita Nagari is a place where people go and spend time. There are many programs centered around different groups. So many things are happening in this town. It's just unbelievable. We say, well, we got our jobs, we got our families, you know. If we have no time for these other things, then we just, we don't understand that how wonderful Krishna consciousness is.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj, for making us realize this. I remember recently I heard about Ayendra Prabhu saying, I mean, the videos where the disciples were saying about Ayendra Prabhu, and another video of Candramauli Swami. They definitely were saying that 16 rounds are really, if you really want to advance, 16 rounds are not going to work out. It's just you'll end up making baby steps. That's it.
Yeah, if you think I'm done with, Prabhupada made a very strong statement. He said, 16 rounds, now I can do any damn thing I want. So what he was saying, yay, now I finished my 16 rounds, now I can enjoy life. I can do anything I want. So that's not the program. The idea is Satatam Kirtayantam Mam. Just like I was just talking to one devotee yesterday. He's the top fundraiser for the TOVP. Top one. He travels around, does fundraising. He's expert. He's got a big responsibility to raise money for the temple. And we were talking, he said during the lockdown, when nobody was coming, and there was no activity centered around the TOVP, he lives in Mayapur, said I was reading for 8 hours a day. Reading the books for 8 hours a day. And he was just expressing how wonderful that was. He had, personally, when the lockdown came, I was chanting 32 rounds a day. And even after it kind of eased off, I was still chanting 24 rounds a day. Oh yeah. Chant. Sachinanda Maharaj travels around the world inspiring people to get a taste for the holy name. We have programs where they chant 64 rounds a day and discuss, just become absorbed in Krishna. And even if you can't travel so much, do it in your local area. But association, Mahaprabhu gave the formula to Rupa Goswami. Rupa Goswami wrote it down. in Nectar of Devotion. And he illustrates what Lord Chaitanya said in a very complete way. But one point he makes is that Mahaprabhu told him there are 5 powerful forms of devotional service. And any one of these can bring ecstasy even to a brand new devotee. And he mentioned the 5 forms: chanting the holy names of the Lord, hearing every day Srimad Bhagavatam, or reading Srimad Bhagavatam, hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, Nasta Prayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya, worshiping the deity form of the Lord, the Archavigra, which is the most compassionate form of the Lord. He comes personally in his personal form to be worshipped by his devotees. He takes the position of subordination to his devotees, who wake him up, who dress him, who feed him, who bathe him, who put him to sleep, who worship him in different ways. So the Lord goes out of his way, you might say, using the statement, so he can inspire his devotees to get involved in worshiping him. The other two are association with devotees, which is the most important out of all of them, because in association of devotees, we chant. In association of devotees, we hear and discuss Bhagavatam. In association of devotees, we get purified. We worship the Lord. And the last one is living in the holy place. It means a temple, one of the holy places of the Lord that are mentioned in the scriptures. So these 5 forms of devotional service are really the essence of our spiritual practice. So become expert at one of them. Emphasize one of them, or maybe 1 or 2 of them over the rest. And you'll see how, as you become proficient in one area of practice, everything else expands from that proficiency, that expertise. It's like a little kid. I remember when I was a little kid, this thing with marbles came out. I don't know if you know these little kind of glassy balls at different colors. And they became a real fashion for little kids. Everybody was buying marbles, playing marbles, doing things with marbles. There were so many games came up centered around marbles. So the kids would spend the whole day playing with marbles. They forgot about everything else. So yeah, we want to get to the point where, I mean, the Goswamis, the Goswamis of Vrindavan, we say they were very renounced. They didn't eat, they didn't sleep. It's not that they didn't want to do these things, they just had no time. They just was too busy serving the Lord. They just neglected these things. They completely neglected it because they were absorbed in devotional service. So it's not that they had to artificially think, well, I don't have to eat so much today because, I have to be renounced. No, the renunciation was just an example of their full absorption in devotional service. So it's like that. Visayam vinivartante nirharasya dehinam raso varjam raso pyasya param duswa devartante. And that everyone looking for taste in life has to have some taste to it. People get a little taste from family life. They get a little taste from something that they do, maybe. But these are small tastes which come and go. But when we get the higher taste, then you can give up the lower taste. Just like if you're hungry, you haven't eaten, and somebody comes along with some food, it doesn't matter really what it is. It's just because you're so hungry and need to eat something. But if somebody comes along with your favorite food, you'll push aside everything else and go for that. When the higher taste is available, then the lower taste falls away. So go for that higher taste. It's available.
Thank you, Maharaj, with your blessings. We'll do that. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Very good stuff. Thank you for your question. That was nice.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Thank you for your wonderful lecture. It was with and without stopping, gripping. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Hmm. Do we end here?
So devotees, like this is a great opportunity to ask your question. And I also agree, Maharaj, with Namta Mataji. Thank you very much for your nice question. We could get nice wisdom because of your question after that. So thank you very much. And I was listening, Maharaj, in one lecture while devotee asked that question. That how like association and the consciousness makes the difference. That when Dhritarashtra, he just asked one question from Sanjaya about his family, like about his son and what's happening in the battlefield. While Arjuna, he was asking about his dharma and his purpose of life. And he very nicely summarized, saying that small minds discuss people, average minds discuss the events, but great minds discuss only about Krishna. So a nice kind of summary that.
Yeah, that's nice. Stop trying to, what is that saying? Stop trying to make a living, but start beginning to actually live. We're all trying to make a living. You can't make a living. Just begin to live. Yesterday, that event was so spectacular. We had a local we had a congressman there. At least 10 people from different branches of the government came. It was an amazing program. And we did two parts. We had the temple program in the morning where we did the Nyasa, and then we did the Prana Pratishta. Romapad Swami was there, Radhanath Swami was there. Anuttama Prabhu was there. Devaki Nandana Prabhu was there. Braj Vilas Prabhu was there. And, many of us, we had a chance to speak a little bit. There was kirtan, there was offerings, and there was tremendous prashad. Everything was just, just grand. It was just a wonderful celebration. And the deities look so beautiful. You got to see those deities, Radhesham Sundar, they're just exquisite. So yeah, this is Krishna consciousness.
So Maharaj, whatever we were reading today, that was the live darshan for you yesterday. Yeah? Krishna came in the form of giving darshan in the Dwarka, or maybe in the Minneapolis in that form.
They let us do the Prana Pratishta, which is a very intimate ceremony with the deity. It's the first time in my life that I have ever done this Prana Pratishta with the deity. And it was, I can't really describe it, but it was just quite intimate, very intimate with the deity. Very sweet. And we have some of the best priests chanting the mantras, devotees who are, make their whole life simply doing puja. Everything was top quality yesterday. Really. And people came. And we had a fundraising program in the evening for the temple still needs the external trimmings. We need to put the domes on the top to make the entranceway in. So that's phase 2 and phase 3. So they're still trying to inspire people to come forward and help with that. And there was a lot of enthusiasm for the whole temple. Even for people who were ordinary, who came, didn't know much about our tradition, were expressing their happiness and their satisfaction that now there was a very nice temple. Anyway, go see it.
What's the name of deity, Maharaj?
Radhasham Sundar.
Oh, wow.
He fits his name. He's like that. And Radhasham Sundar, Chota, Radhasham Sundar, and Mahaprabhu is there.
Looks like, Maharaj, there is no further question.
Okay, we can end here.
Maybe everybody has gone for taking darshan of deity in the temples or maybe chanting directly.
Yeah. Okay, we'll see you all tomorrow.
Thank you, Maharaj. Thank you very much for giving your time.
Roger Bilasi, did you come to the program yesterday?
Yeah, Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj. Yeah, I was there. We were there. Yeah, it was amazing. It's amazing that, like you said, like you cannot describe, but you can just feel it. Yes, it's amazing. Radha Shyam Sundar is amazing. Yes, and especially for the Srila Prabhupada, how smiling the face. That was amazing.
Yeah, this particular deity of Prabhupada, and he's smiling.
Yes, I never seen like any other temple. It was really nice.
Yeah, usually Prabhupada is very grave, but this deity is a little bit in Prabhupada's jolly mood. Okay, thank you for. Nice.
Guru Maharaj, I also noticed that Prabhupada smiling, and I really, really was attracted when I saw it in the picture. That Prabhupada, was smiling very, very, I don't know, even I cannot describe it, but I really loved it, even in the picture.
Is that who's posting that picture? Is that you?
Maharaj, this is just from the yesterday program, so I got it. So I just thought I will just share this with devotees.
Do you got any more pictures, or is this the only one?
I have got few pictures, Maharaj. I have got 5-7 pictures.
Put them up. Let's see them.
I will just download one.
Okay, that's one of them. Is there another one? That's the same one.
Yes, Maharaj. I think just some. Oh, no, I'm just going to close. It looks like I'm just playing the same.
Okay, well, put them all together, and maybe we can display them at another time.
I think there's some on Facebook I could send to you, Prabhu.
What is Prabhupada? There you go. Okay.
This is the.
Thank you. That was nice.
There is one more.
Oh, there's the deities. Yeah.
Yes. Beautiful deities.
Thank you. Yay.
So thank you, Maharaj. Thank you very much. Really appreciate for your time. Thank you, devotees, for joining this session. Anant Koti Vaishnav Vrind ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj. Hare
Gurudev
Krishna.
Gurudev ki jai.
Thank you. See you all soon.
Thank you, Guru.